You have customers calling in saying where you're going to come and get this, and we have to let them know. If it's still ice on your street, it's a danger zone for us, put our employees in danger, and y'all will have to wait until we're able to service that area. And it has to melt because we can't have any safety concerns as far as picking up your garbage.
Hey Raleigh, curious about how things really work in your capital city? We've got answers straight from the experts who make it happen. Welcome to Your City Answered. I'm Rand Northam. After 2 weekends of winter weather, some city services had to adjust their schedules. Trash, recycling, and yard waste pickup, something we all count on, was no exception. So, how does winter weather impact trash collection? Let's head to Solid Waste Services and get answers from Solid Waste Collection Supervisor Keith Searles, Training and Development Analyst Gregory Green, and Senior Communications Analyst Ellen Mathis.
I think the biggest impact is the delays. Of course, like if we have a major storm, anytime major storm, we have to let the residents know that their trash pickup will be delayed at least a day, or sometimes two, depending on what's the outcome of the weather. Like this time we did a 1 day delay. So I think that's the biggest thing, trying to get the customers to understand that we won't be there on the actual day. We'll be there 1 day or 2 days behind.
And I guess what are some of the conditions that lead to that? I mean, if you could paint a picture of what you're seeing and why snow or ice then changes how you're able to pick up trash, how you're able to maneuver with vehicles and those types of things. What are some of the landscapes that you all are dealing with that makes you have to consider those delays?
Snow is a less impact, more like it's the ice situation. You're talking about trucks, our trash trucks are they tonnage as far as the tonnage of the weight that we're picking up, whether it's recycling, garbage, or yard waste, and you get down those ice patches and places the trucks just keep spinning, or you can't get down a cul-de-sac, or you try to go down a cul-de-sac, you can't make it out of the cul-de-sac. Snow is more, we still take safety precautions when it comes to snow, but snow is more easier to maneuver in as far as the ice. We had a lot of delays as far as the ice, and that wasn't a major ice storm, but it was enough to have major delay as far as the time period.
We can't train to winter weather. We don't have the opportunities for that, whether it's behind the wheel or boots on the ground. What are some of the things that you can do to get with the staff and have them prepared and ready for this type of event?
When it comes to that, what you're focusing on is assessing the situation at hand, and once you assess it, understanding how to react when it comes to situations such as this. You're talking about snow, ice, and not just those things. You got to factor into the frigid cold for the guys that's not just in the truck, but the guys that's on the back of the truck. So to focus on those points and just be vigilant and just be mindful of things like that going to come. You got to expect opposition when it comes and just know how to maneuver and operate within the parameters of that. Communication, that's the focal point. Communicating immediately, knowing what to do ahead of time, but not just knowing what to do ahead of time, but understanding what you need to do after the effect when it comes to the snow or whatever the situation may be. So it's just all about education and consistent communication amongst the whole department as a whole.
What do you then have to tell the residents, community members when there are delays and they're used to their schedules, they're used to things being prompt, they want it the same way every time? What do you then ask our community about, being patient, being understanding of a change in schedule?
Yeah, we have a great team here in the operations side, and they'll tell me and my team, the comms team and the admin group, like what the deal is. If they're, they can kind of base how many hours they're behind even on some days. But let's say on Tuesday, we're shut down, it's not going to happen. We reach out to the web team and let them know, especially in the cases where there's how it is, the big web page with all of the updates from the city. And then we'll get that information up there, and then we'll also put it in the Raleigh Reuse app and put a notification out. And our basic message is solid waste services is delayed due to weather or road conditions. Please leave your bins at the curb until they're picked up, so we don't get flooded in with miscollection forms. So yeah, kind of just be patient, even now I know like today and yesterday, there's still streets out there that are still covered in ice.
Exactly.
And so they're still, they're getting skipped, but it's nothing that like we can't do anything about it. So just like work with us.
Yeah, be patient. Cause you have customers calling in saying where you're gonna come and get this, and we have to let them know if it's still ice on your street. It's a danger zone for us. Put our employees in danger, and y'all will have to wait until we're able to service the area, and it has to melt because we can't have any safety concerns as far as picking up your garbage. So another thing too, we always have to supervisors, crew leaders. We go out there. If you have a situation like this, we always go out there in advance and go observe that area, just to make sure that it's safe for our drivers to get out there, because we don't want drivers just going there off the whim or just guessing if it's okay. So we try to take our pickup trucks and go out there and see what's going on in advance for safety.
So where do our vehicles drop off after you collect? Is that in Raleigh?
Yeah, transfer station is right here by our facility.
So it's not like you're going out of town and having to drive and then having to deal with the conditions
Exactly.
that are in Raleigh.
Yeah. When I first started, we had to go out there to Durant Road. That was, and I had snowstorms back then, and that was kind of, you're going from Peace Street to Durant Road, then come back to Peace Street. So now we have a facility right next door. Easy process.
Thinking about people being home, there's more delays. You might have your bin a little bit longer. You might be delayed a few days. Is there more trash because of those delays? And does that then add to the amount of pickup?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we take that in consideration. Same way as holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. When people are home, out of school, out of work, of course, you have more trash. So we look at it the same way as holidays. We take our time. We just tell people, put it all out there, and we'll go back and get it. Don't panic. We'll get to it as soon as possible. But we treat it all the same way. We're here to service these customers.
So in the summer, there's a threshold, there's a level. You don't go out and collect trash past a certain point. Is there a level, a low temperature point where you won't go out? And the same thing, you collect earlier in the morning, sometimes out in the summer too, to try to beat the heat. Do you go out a little bit later if it's going to be colder? And is that threshold?
We do. When we have a delay for snow, if we are coming in, like if it's too hazardous, we won't come in at all. But if it is a thing about we got a delay, like this past Tuesday, we had a 4-hour delay. We got here at 10 to start, and make sure the sun was up to collect. So we do take it into consideration. We never, of course, our normal time is 5:30 in the morning. So anytime there's dealing with snow or ice, we always push it back at least 4 hours to make sure everybody's coming to work when it's daylight. But as far as a cutoff time, as far as the temperature, that's something we have to get with safety. If it's something that's too beyond crazy, as far as too low, of course, safety would tell us, hey, that's something to look into. But majority of the time, we only deal with that when we're dealing with heat. Snow or any ice, we don't really have a cutoff time. But we try to wait until the sun come up, have some type of view, so we make sure we're going down the right path or right streets, make sure there's no safety hazard, but not a cutoff day for actual temperature being too low.
What do you consider worse, a really hot day or a really cold day?
For me, everybody's different. I learned here, like I said, I've been here 23 years. It's fun to hear different personalities and how they feel about whether doing garbage, recycling, or yard waste. Even when it comes to temperatures, like for me, I adapt to all of them. I mean, I don't care if it's hot. I don't care. When it's hot, you got to prepare your body. Same thing it is for it being cold or chilly or rainy. Prepare your body for that day in advance. So neither one bothered me. I get ill of either one of them if I don't know. If you're rain on, if you're snowed on, if you're hot. But I mean, as time goes on, you get adapted to it. It's part of your job. That's what you get paid to do. They tell you that when you get hired. So it's a thing to grow on you. But some people are different. So somebody like Mr. Greg.
Both.
Greg say both of them are bad. But yeah.
But in spite of both of them being bad, to piggyback off of what he just said, you got to expect opposition. It's going to present itself. You just got to know your body, whether it's hot or whether it's cold. In the wintertime, you can put more clothes on. In the summertime, you can't take enough off.
That's true. True statement.
But it's all about having a buddy system when you're out there. Everybody's accountable for it, the guy that's next to him, looking out for him to make sure that he's safe, he's operating efficiently, but also he's not getting overwhelmed by the heat or the cold, and vice versa. When you do that, everything works out together.
How far of a commute are you seeing for your employees? Where are people coming from throughout the triangle area?
The average employee, the longest distance is an hour. You have people that drive from Fayetteville to here. Me and Greg, we live in Pikeville, Goldsboro, so our commute is like 50 minutes. And everybody here works out of town. Slim to none, nobody here really lives in Raleigh. So we always take that in consideration too when we make decisions as far as timing and all that, because your supervisor, crew leaders, and the employees and some administration, all of them work out of town. Slim to nobody works actually down the street or lives down the street. So when we make a decision for shutting something down, we take all that in consideration.
All right, I got a hard one for you. What is solid waste services? What is all contained in solid waste services?
It boils down, like I said, recycling, garbage, and yard waste. That's the three things we deal with on a daily basis.
Got a question you'd like us to dig into? We'd love to hear it. Visit RaleighNC.gov and search podcast to submit your questions. Plus, catch every episode. Thanks for listening to Your City Answered, where your questions lead the conversation. Brought to you by the City of Raleigh.